Lando Norris has just poured a bit more petrol on one of Formula One's most explosive debates. Should Lewis Hamilton already be an 8-time world champion? At a fan event in London, celebrating Norris's own title success, Lando was talking about Hamilton's career, and when he mentioned 7 titles, the crowd instantly shouted back, 8! Norris paused for a moment, then agreed, should have been 8. And with that, the ghost of Abu Dhabi 2021 was back in the room. At the Hammersmith Apollo, Norris was on stage with McLaren CEO Zak Brown, reflecting on his own championship season. When he spoke about Hamilton, he said, he's got more experience than basically everyone, so certainly he's not won 7 world championships. Before he could finish, the crowd cut in. 8. Norris smiled and replied, should have been 8. He then continued, he's not done it in the way he has by only just being good enough then. He's easily got what it takes. It'll be cool. I think it's a cool thing to see Lewis back at the top and fighting, which I'm sure you'll be seeing more of this year. So, he acknowledges Hamilton's level. He echoes the feeling that something was taken away in 2021, and he makes it clear he wants to see Lewis back in a title fight. That alone is enough to light up social media, but it hits even harder because we all know exactly what 8 refers to. To understand this reaction, you have to go back to Yas Marina 2021. Hamilton and Verstappen arrived equal on points. Hamilton controlled most of the race and looked set for title number 8. Then came the late safety car, and then race director Michael Masi made the now famous decision to only let some lapped cars unlap themselves, specifically just the ones between Hamilton and Verstappen. It was unprecedented. Verstappen, on fresh tyres, lined up right behind Hamilton for a 1-lap shootout and passed him at turn 5 to take the win and the title. Verstappen and Red Bull celebrated a first championship. Hamilton said the race had been manipulated. Toto Wolff told Masi this is not right, and a big part of the fan base has called it robbery ever since. That's the emotion Norris tapped into with just 4 words, should have been 8. The interesting part is, Norris's reaction now is consistent with what he said back in 2021. On that Sunday night in Abu Dhabi, he was already clearly uncomfortable with how the race was handled. He said he was surprised that only some cars were allowed to unlap themselves, and he added that it obviously felt like the decision was made for the TV, for the result. He stopped short of calling it unfair outright, saying that wasn't for him to decide, but he was clearly questioning the process. So when he says now should have been 8, it's not a new opinion. It's him openly aligning with what a lot of people have thought for 4 years. The key point here, Norris's comment is not an attack on Max Verstappen as a driver. He's not calling Verstappen a fake champion. What he's doing is putting the spotlight back on how that final race was managed, how the rules were applied, and how different the outcome might have been with a normal safety car procedure. You can believe 2 things at once. Verstappen has since proven he's absolutely worthy of being a multiple world champion, and the way the first one was decided still doesn't sit right with a lot of people inside the paddock. Norris's line just reminds everyone that even current drivers haven't forgotten how that night felt. Now Hamilton is at Ferrari, chasing that elusive 8th title in red instead of silver. Norris saying should have been 8 adds another layer to 2024 and 2025. If Hamilton does win another title, many fans will feel it's finally justice for 2021. If he doesn't, debates like this will only grow louder with time. Either way, Norris has guaranteed that Abu Dhabi 2021 stays very much alive in the conversation, and as long as Hamilton, Verstappen and now Norris are all fighting at the front together, this is a story that F1 just can't escape.